So I did some off-screen building. And I built myself a little western area as a tribute to the original western area in Benny's Movie Park 2. And I will now take this off because it takes up way too much of my screen. Anyway, like I explained in my last video, I made all of this off screen as just a little extra. This area was kind of a leftover space. I didn't really know what to do with it. It ended up looking pretty big though. It's not actually as big as it looks. But the point is, this is now a fully functional and finished western area. There's only one flat ride, it's nothing too crazy to be completely fair, but still, it's really nice looking. It's mostly for scenery, I'd say. But yes, without any further ado, let me just show you everything that's here. We're gonna begin today with a POV, like a guest POV, just a walkthrough. After that, I'll show you everything else that you don't see as a guest, and some, you know, what I'm... Let's get to it. So, we start here over at the Jurassic Park gate. You can tell it's a bit slower and more laggy than it used to be. First off, on your right, you have a little animatronic that just kind of stands there and shoots you every now and then. Definitely something that makes it feel a bit more alive. We need a lot more of that in this park in general. But then next, we have a bunch of Western buildings. Now, I gotta say, it was so great to finally have all the pieces I need. Usually, I really have to do it with the pieces we have, and my themes aren't typically really made for this game. But the Western theme has a Western pack, and it's so great. I can just find everything I need, and... Are you okay? Yes, it's so nice. It feels like I can breathe again building these buildings. None of these are really accessible. They're just for show because the actual area starts all the way over there. But they do look nice. I didn't copy and paste too many buildings in this area. It's mostly unique buildings. There's just this one and that one have different versions in terms of colors and some design changes, but mostly everything else is unique, which is something you can probably tell already looking at this building. So this is a really large white Western building with interior this time around. As you can tell, if you move inside, you can see there is a bit of a restaurant. Let me just turn the torch off so we can see it in its original lighting. There's some people eating here. Yeah, it's simple. My interior usually is pretty simple, but I do really like it. It's cozy. It has some lights. You can't actually go up there because paths don't go that steep. But yeah, just nice, cozy, simple. If we go outside again, this is kind of the main street, main area of this area. Beside here, you have a few of these little areas you can just kind of walk to and have like a cool view of the rest of the park. They don't really have another function. It's just for show. Let's first go here. We have a Hat's Fantastic shop, which actually also has a Looney Balloons shop and a souvenir shop. So this is really just a hub where you can buy a bunch of stuff. Always nice to have, I suppose. Then going back outside, this is one of those copy and paste buildings I talked about. It has different colors, different design up there, but it's nothing really too different. Then this next one goes across the entire street, which also has 2 food stalls in it this time. Again, super simple, but it works, it's functional, so that is what it's all about. And then on the other side, there are some restroom stalls. This, by the way, is just another random spot. You get a cool view of the park. You can sit down, but nothing too crazy there. Finally, at the very end, this is actually nothing. It's just like a blacksmith kind of building. It says Benjamin's Blacksmith. You can't actually go inside. It's just for show. And then this is also... I hoped there were some musicians, animatronics, but there aren't, at least not in this theme. So for now, this will stay as it is. You just have to imagine some musicians up there playing some music. And then here, yet another cool view. It's actually all the same view, but you get the point. Yeah, I think up here, yes, there's another animatronic up there. And I do believe I also put some, yes, over here, which is just really nice. Then you must be wondering, how do you continue? Well, you go underneath this nice little bridge design I built. You actually walk on that later. Let me just show you. Here, there's a very simple hotel kind of looking building. Then we go up here, and this is where we enter the next sort of area of within the area, the second half of the area. We're just gonna go up here. Then this is a sort of roof terrace, I suppose. You can get some drinks here. And yeah, I don't really know why I put this here. I just didn't really know what else to do. So I guess that is why. And this is a bridge. We just kind of go over again. Lovely, lovely view over here. Then we move on. Bunch of junk. This actually fits in so many themes. You could put this anywhere. Pirate, medieval even, and well, the Western theme, as you can tell. Then we're gonna go further up here. A very nice little path surrounded by rocks, some canyon-like rocks, some more scenery on the side. And then this is the only ride we have, the carousel. Here's the entrance. It's very simple. This queue is always stuffed. Like, I need to make it longer, but I don't really know how because there is not a lot of space left. People love this ride for some reason. To be fair, it looks pretty sweet. We got like a cool spinning thing on top that actually spins around with the ride, so that's fun. Just a fun little detail, I suppose. Then on the other side, there are yet some more buildings. This one has kind of a Chinese vibe to it, except it's probably only because of the color, like the gold and red kind of has like a Chinese vibe to it. But yeah, up here, even more buildings. Inside of these, there are once again 2 different food stalls. And then you can just kind of walk around this building here. You can also go underneath. That's cool. Yes, one more building over here. Finally, some cool scenery with a cool little oil pump, I believe this is. Let me just take a sip. And then this, let me just actually change the lighting for that, because there's always, here you go. On the back here is the back entrance of Hogwarts, which I decorated a little bit with 2 giant statues. The interior is also done, but that's not this video. That's for some other time. If you move over here, there is the end of this area, the end of the western area, with a railway station. And I actually love the way this looks. It has some trains. I know, it's crazy. There's a cool sign up there. On the side here, there's the actual locomotive, whatever. And then there's just a bunch more details of the typical Western buildings with a bridge over it. This, of course, I'm not sure is still happening. We're gonna have to look how we're gonna do that. But point is, this leads you to the Egyptian area, as you probably already know. So yes, that is the walkthrough. Now let's go into a little bit more detail. Because we skipped over quite a lot, particularly just the other sides of buildings you don't really see. For example, this has a bit of a different look to it than the other ones. It's a bit more modern, almost. And there's just this sort of junk absolutely everywhere. It's crazy. Oh, here's the train. So yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't find a way to stop people from going over the track when the train arrives. I tried something, didn't work. In theory, it would have worked because these fences, people don't actually go over them. So if you put those in the ground here, people don't walk across. However, in moments where you block the entire road, they do cross. It's weird, because I thought maybe with those platforms I can trigger a platform going up, so these go up. People stop, and then once the train leaves, it goes back down, but it didn't work for some reason. I don't know why, just didn't work. But yes, I really like the way all of this looks. It's just really simple stuff. It's nothing too advanced, but that's because these pieces are just so perfect for this. It's crazy. If we turn around though, there's quite a bunch of stuff we skipped over in the POV. Most of these buildings, of course, we have seen, but this building is really quite cool looking, and it's actually not even that complex. All I did was create this segment, which I then spun around itself to create the entire structure. It looks super advanced. It's really not. It's just basic elements put together. And if you spin those around, it looks like this. Just perfectly around that ride. Looks super cool with the water tower on top. So that is how I did that. Not super advanced. And if we go around this, you can tell there is now a bridge here under the train track. It's that classic wooden bridge, Western kind of style, which I think looks super, super neat. On the other side as well. Let me just change the lighting here. There you go. I really like this. It just kind of adds some variety to this whole landscape. And in general, there are a bunch of rocks on the side now. I didn't put them everywhere because that feels a bit too insane, but some areas have some really large rock formations. Particularly, this I think looks fantastic. I don't know how or why, but this looks so good. You'll probably see me adding some more rocks to this canyon in the near future, but for now I just kept it like this because I didn't want to overdo it. On this side, same kind of thing. Pretty sure I copied that actually. But yes, let's continue to the rest of the area actually, because over here, these buildings we've seen, pretty basic stuff, but then this building, this is quite different because as you can tell, it has moving parts. And for once in my life, this actually makes sense. Usually when I add moving things, it doesn't really make sense. It's just for show, like random stuff. This actually would have like a function. Because of this cliff, people would want to transport stuff from below to up. My English is lacking right now. The point is, you get what I mean. This gets pulled up all the way up until there, so you can go grab it, put it inside, and then it goes back down again. So I really like that idea. I think it goes all the way inside. It does, yeah. Inside of this building, there's actually nothing. It's just, you know, the thing itself, because, well, underneath there are the shops. But that aside, I love that detail. It looks so nice. I also just realized I meant to put some text here, as you can tell, but I haven't yet. So I suppose if you have any ideas, let me know down below in the comments. Anyway, on the side, there are a bunch more trees, some cacti. I don't think there's much else besides, of course, this side of these buildings. This is a very basic looking Western building with the same docks I used at the pirate area. And then this is more of a fisherman's vibe, which I thought could be nice, especially because this is right next to the supposed sea. There's some nets here, these cool things. I'm not even sure what that's supposed to be. It looks nice though. So yeah. Then finally, this bridge to get into the area. Again, very simple wooden Western structure. You've seen me do this 1,000 times before, so I could explain it, but it kind of speaks for itself. In general, all of this kind of speaks for itself. I built this in about 3 days, 3 work days. I spent 7 to 8 hours each day to build this, and it just showed me how fast I can build stuff if I'm dedicated and don't have to record it. Of course, having all these pieces was a huge plus. I didn't have to think of super interesting or creative ways to get things done because all these pieces were just in the game. So finally I could just build, turn my brain off and build, and this is what happened. And it's really not that big. But of course, this was still completely empty. I needed to do something with it, and this seems like a nice little thing, especially because the Western area was such a big part of Benny's Movie Park 2. It's the biggest area of both my movie parks, I think. It was absolutely required, and so I did. The only thing I don't love about this is the lighting. It's either this side looks good, or the other side looks good, because right now, this side is nice and light, but in the morning, this side is lit, and that side is dark, so there's always something in the shadow. I don't love that. Of course, the obvious reason for that is the castle. It's a bit of an eyesore from the point of view of a Western theme. Like, this doesn't make sense, obviously. I'm also pretty sure some of you guys won't love that. I mean, this transition is very harsh right now, but I don't know. I don't mind it too much. It still looks nice. In general, the whole thing looks nice, so you don't hear me complain too much. Then there is one more thing I'd like to show you, and that is something that is all the way over there. My members have already seen this before, but what this is basically a bunch of trash combined from this park to create a nice little skyline that I used for my channel banner. This was the result. It looks really cool. It's already up now, so you can see it there as well. But that is how I did that. It really is a big mess. This is just a random piece of coaster. All of these are just buildings I already did. Parts of them are missing, by the way, too, because it's multiple parts. But for example, here, half this castle is empty. It makes no sense. It's really a bunch of stuff slapped together. But yeah, it still looks nice in the photo, so that's what it's all about. I will probably delete this later, but for now, I thought maybe I need it still. So yeah. All of that said, I think that is pretty much the bulk of today's video. I love the way this looks. This actually, unironically, might be one of my favorite areas now, even though it has barely anything in it. I just love this vibe, this style. It's so cozy and warm and just, it's nice. I don't know why, it's just nice. But yes, I don't think I have much else to say for today besides cucumber. Next, we'll continue with the Five Nights at Freddy's ride, which I actually already built some stuff for, as you can see. But that's a problem for later. So for today, I think that is pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell not to miss a single future video. And then I hope I'll see you in the next one.